Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Wrong Ones. So, this is a special episode where we're going to be talking about not the IPL, but the Indian team that has been selected to go to Australia. So, we're going to give you our not so expert opinions about the team and what we think is good, bad, and ugly about this team that we have chosen. So, we'll start with the T20 team, then move to the ODI team, and then finish with the Test team that they've selected, and just talk about any talking points that there might be in this squad. So, we'll start with the T20 squad, and so I'll just read out the squad first for you guys, if I can find it. There we go, found it. So our T20 squad for this series is Virat Kohli as captain, KL Rahul vice captain. Then um, we've got
Vice captain and wicketkeeper.
vice captain wicketkeeper. Sorry,
Want to
yes.
mention.
Then we've got Shikhar Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal, Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, Ravi Jadeja, Washi Sundar, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini, Deepak Chahar, and the first-time pick, Varun Chakravarti. So, what are your initial reactions to this squad?
My initial reaction is that it's a very balanced squad. Obviously, there's the notable omission of Rishabh Pant, and also the addition of Mayank Agarwal, who's getting perhaps his first T20 cap, or at least his first time being in the T20 squad for India. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting. I think, Noor, do you have anything?
No, I think I agree with you in terms like I like the balance. I'm glad Mayank is finally, getting his chance in white ball cricket. Obviously, like Rohit Sharma is not there, so if there's another injury, maybe Mayank actually gets to open. That can really happen. My big thing with this is that you don't have Rishabh Pant, which to me is just a very confusing choice.
Yeah, I
Because it's
think
not like
who's our finisher?
yeah, it's. I think what
There
they're
are a
gonna
few going around.
Yeah, they're gonna play Manish Pandey, but for me, it's like Manish Pandey, Sanju Samson, and Rishabh Pant haven't had the best IPLs. Like neither of them have had such an extraordinary IPL. So I don't understand what they've left Rishabh Pant out for. If it's based on IPL performance, I don't think it's fair because I don't think he's done much of a bad job in comparison to like Sanju Samson.
I'm hearing it's
Like
Yeah.
fitness.
I've just got to mention one more. I think it's also notable that Kuldeep Yadav's not in the squad
yeah,
either.
For T20s, though, I don't think he's in the scene for our T20s.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, he was for a while, right? And it just shows how over the past two IPLs and sort of the past two white ball seasons, he's really declined in his form. I think just something important to point out. I think that it's interesting that Manish Pandey has actually been included in the game because in the squad, because I actually don't think he's had a very good IPL except for that one game.
And he's been batting at 3 the whole time.
He has been batting at 3. I mean, he can bat at 5, 6, whatever, but I don't think he is the sort of player who can just hit from the get-go. I think he needs a lot of time to get in, so I don't think he would be successful as a finisher. I mean, he's not successful as a finisher in IPL, so I can't imagine that he will be in international cricket. I think we'll see Hardik Pandya in. Perhaps just as a finishing
question.
role.
Is he going to play just as a batsman, or is he going to play as a... Because if he plays as a batsman, then he's going to have to bat at 6. And if he's batting at 6, then we'll have... I mean, obviously we'll have Shikhar, KL will open with either Shikhar or Mayank. And we'll have Virat at 3. I mean, honestly, I'd go with Mayank over Shikhar, but okay, fine. Virat at 3, Iyer at 4 probably. And then I think 5 is where it's the toss-up is between Manish Pandey and Sanju Samson, who you give that role to. I presume they're going to go with Manish to start. And then they've got, I'll play Pandya at 6. And then that means you have to play then, if Pandya is not bowling, then you have to play Jadeja and Washi 7 and 8 because they give the batting. And then 3 pacers after that. 3 pacers after that.
See, I actually think that Mayank Agarwal, I mean, this is quite controversial, that Mayank Agarwal could bat at 4 instead of Shreyas Iyer. I think he's in better form than Shreyas Iyer. Hopefully his injury clears up. And Shreyas Iyer, as much as he's looked at this IPL, he's had a similar thing as Manish Pandey, where he has been able to hit from the get go. And I just think, when you have players like that in a team who take sort of like 7-10 balls to get in, it actually is a big dampener on your team. And it's super important to have guys who can hit, 3-4 balls in the innings. Not hit, but at least look more positive and bat at a strike rate of 120, 130 from the get-go.
But I think for me, Mayank hasn't even proved like that he can bat in the middle order, and and the Indian team has invested in Shreyas Iyer for quite a while now as their long-term number four, because we had the problem with number four in our before the ODI World Cup, and I don't see India messing around with what has worked for them, because Shreyas Iyer in India has been pretty good. He's batted like in the New Zealand series also. I think he's got 100, and he was batting pretty well in the ODIs. So I think they're going to stick with Shreyas in both the T20s and the one days. But I just think it's a big call for them to leave out Pant for me as well, because like I was having a discussion with someone today that he's the only player who can hit from the get go. Like he's the our one. If we had to take the team close to what England's level is in white ball cricket, Pant is one of the people who can do that, and he's the guy who can come out and he's very different from everything we have. Otherwise, like our top six hypothetically could be if you don't play Pandya, we could have a top six of uh, Dhawan, KL, Virat, Agarwal, Iyer, and Pandey, who are all basically the same kind of player. All six of them play
Yeah.
the same way, except maybe Rahul if he's playing his expansive game. But that's why we need someone who's a bit different in there who can spice it up. Like if we have, can you imagine if we have Pant and Hardik at 5 and 6? That's some serious finishing power in the team.
Yeah.
And then Jadeja,
I
who's
think,
also looked good as a finisher this year.
yeah, I think that Pant, his story perhaps is a cautionary tale, or I think just in general, I think it's prime example of mismanagement by the Indian team. I think after he was put under a lot of pressure to sort of conform and not hit his big expansive shots sometimes when it was perhaps untimely, right? But that was how he knew how to play and how he knows how to play. To change him into a player that's more in the same vein of Manish Pandey or Shreyas Iyer does a big disservice not only to him but to the Indian team and to Indian cricket as a whole, because he's that one player that we had who was the real archetypical T20 batsman. I think there was an article in Cricket Info about how he's the only Indian batsman or the first Indian batsman to think like a T20 cricketer,
Yeah.
rather than an ODI cricketer or a Test cricketer. And so to lose him, first to change him and then not accept what he's become after he's changed a little bit into a little bit more responsible cricketer, perhaps, seems a bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. I also have I just want to like talk about some of the things you guys mentioned, right? So the first thing about like Mayank over Shreyas, I'm not particularly for that. I think Shreyas Iyer is a better finisher than Mayank Agarwal. I think he can hit the ball better in those kind of circumstances than Mayank Agarwal. So I keep him there just in case. Like I rather have Shreyas Iyer in the last 3 overs than Mayank Agarwal, because I've seen him be that really explosive batsman. So I prefer Shreyas as well, but I really do want Mayank to like get a chance to play in this squad. We'll see how that happens. Maybe a
I think
Shaker.
ODIs he will.
Yeah, ODI I see him play, but Test I'm not that sure. In terms of Rishabh Pant, I think you
Wait,
guys nailed
Test? He's
it.
our Test opener.
I
He's
said
in T20.
ODIs and for sure. I'm not sure about
T20.
T20s.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
not
Yeah.
sure about T20s. He will play our Test games. He's a good Test cricketer. My issue with the whole dropping of Rishabh Pant, it kind of goes back to what you guys said. The kid is 23 years old. At 20, when he was what, 22, 21, you all insisted that a number six wicketkeeper batsman is all of a sudden India's number four, right? And then when he failed in a position he's clearly not meant to play, you're just dropping him. I think I agree with you. It's complete mismanagement. And I also think it just shows you how stubborn the Indian team was with this whole number four debacle. Like, I actually think, like, if they had just put, even when Shreyas Iyer got into the team and was performing well, Rishabh Pant was batting a number four and Shreyas Iyer was batting a number five. What other team in the world would do that? Like, I think that made no sense. You're batting him in a position in the past where you know he's not suited. Like, that's not his style of game. Like, why are you doing that? And I think now that they're dropping him, that's just really unfair. And I'm disappointed because you I love KR Rahul. You guys know I'm a big fan. But you want a number 6 wicketkeeper batsman who's a great finisher. That's
That's
kind
what
of
we got
like,
used to seeing in the Indian team.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what,
I
yeah,
mean,
you're used to it. But I also think that's a great place. Even as a pure batsman, he makes the team because he is that dynamic. But if you quit on him, I don't get that. Like, this is what I kind of miss about like MS Dhoni, is that he had real faith in his players even though they didn't perform at times. But
only if they
I,
were Chennai players.
only if they're Chennai players. But I think he likes Rishabh, so maybe Rishabh as well. But
Yeah.
um, but it's just disappointing. And honestly, at this point, like, I don't even know what Rishabh Pant can do to prove himself. Like, he's
I think
trying to
I
do
just feel like I
something.
hope he doesn't take this the wrong way. I hope he takes it as a kind of a kick up the backside to like prove himself again and not go further into his shell in terms of like keep
But
trying to play
Ahaan,
this
think about
defensive
it.
game to try and
We're 20, right? All of us are 20. He's 23 years old. How much more mature can he as a 23-year-old
yeah,
be
I
than?
definitely agree. That's why I think he
And
needs the right people around him to guide him
he
and like
definitely
to
does. And that's why I'm so glad he's playing with people like Ricky Ponting. And I wish, like, the one thing Ricky Ponting's telling him right now is that, you know what? Screw what happened with the Indian selection. You go out there, you hit five, six sixes in the next match and show them the explosive player you are. Go back to play. Because I'd rather take Rishabh Pant from last season than Rishabh Pant from this season.
yeah, and everyone would, I think, because Rishabh Pant last 2 seasons actually. No one else has scored 600 runs from the middle order in an IPL season from like 4 and 5, and he did that. Anyway, that's enough about Rishabh Pant. What do you guys think about Varun
I
Chakravarti
just
being on the
actually I
side?
do want to say one more thing about Rishabh Pant, and I think now might be the time to start laying blame for what the situation is, and I think the blame lies with a certain R Shastri. I think there's a time and
He made
place
one
for.
comment. I remember.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know. I mean, there's a time and place for old school tactics, but this is not one of them, and this is not the player that you use your old school sort of ideologies with. Um, for for Rishabh Pant, you need someone who knows I guess, the modern game better, who understands the modern game better. I'm not saying Ravi Shastri doesn't understand the modern game. I'm just saying that maybe he doesn't get the sort of direction that the game is moving in. And Rishabh Pant is the archetypical batsman for the direction that the game is moving in.
Yeah, I'll send you guys this article. You should read it. It's from Craig It's
Yeah.
about what's
No,
happening.
I read that as well. And also, just, I know this is like, I cannot be a Rishabh Pant podcast, but I just want to mention this other thing, right? The only comparison that really comes to my mind clearly is Maxwell, Rishabh Pant and Maxwell, right? Maxwell is a hit and miss player, but when he hits, it's crazy. That's why Australia keeps going with him in, situations, right? Because you have faith in that player that if you give them enough opportunity, that they will perform for you, right? And I feel like that faith is missing in the Indian team. And especially when the player's 23, we are talking about the fact that, like, he's already peaked and now he's done. He's 23 years old. He hasn't even reached his peak yet. Like, it's ridiculous what they've done to
Yeah,
Rishabh
I think
Pant.
India need to
I
leave Rishabh Pant alone now. The way they need to treat Rishabh Pant now the way they treated Virender Sehwag back in the day when he was
Oh,
allowed to go and
Rohit
play his
Sharma, dude.
game. Rohit Sharma was
Rohit,
different because Rohit Sharma, you could see, like, no one really, people could see the talent, but he used to end his innings early, so he pushed him up the order. I don't think Rishabh Pant needs to be pushed up the order. We should keep him.
no. But I mean, I put the same faith in Rishabh Pant that they did
Yeah,
Rohit
I think
Sharma.
they will. I mean, let's see. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Varun Chakravarti. Let's
Yeah,
get on
Varun
to that. I think.
Chakravarti.
I mean, deserves it, doesn't he? Completely deserves
I
it.
don't know. It's one IPL season, man.
No, but
I
he was
know, but
so good.
it's something new, right? It's like a gentleman
If
list 2010.
we're going on one IPL season, then why isn't Ravi Bishnoi there?
Well, he hasn't been as
So
successful as
did
Varun Chakravarti.
Rajat
Come on,
Chakravarti.
he's been almost as good.
Varun Chakravarti has basically held together KKR's spin bowling
Yeah.
this
So
whole
has
season.
Ravi Bishnoi has been brilliant for Kings 11. He's been one of the best
Ravi
bowlers.
Vishnu and Murugan Ashwin have been just as effective as each other.
Yeah.
I would
I
not agree with that.
I
Ravi
agree with
Bishnoi
Okay,
has
KK.
fine. Okay,
12
that's fair. That's
wickets.
fair. They're
Ravi Bishnoi
not
has
just
12 wickets.
as
Varun
effective.
Chakravarti has 13.
Right. Sorry,
But to
but
me, it's not just the wickets, it's the impact they have in a game. I think Varun Chakravarti for KKR, given the context of his team, has more of an impact than Ravi Bishnoi, which is why I would choose him over Ravi Bishnoi. Not that
it's not
Ravi
even
Bishnoi is not great, it's just not his time yet.
yeah. It's not even that, Ahaan. Ravi Bishnoi is younger. He needs a little bit more time. Varun Chakravarti has a little bit more experience. And Ravi Bishnoi is essentially what Yuzvendra Chahal does. Varun
Varun
Chakravarti
Chakravarti
offers
gives you
something
something
that's very
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need in T20 cricket, and that's sort of the same argument for Rishabh Pant. I need something different.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are, I think, the main talking points of the T20
What a
squad.
great story, man.
Yeah, what a story. Wicket-keeper, fast bowler, architect, fast bowler, spinner.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
What a great
Kabir,
story.
keep working on your left arm spin, bro. You never know.
Yeah, I said,
Anyway, now we'll move on to the ODI squad. Where is that one again? Yes, there we go. Found it. So the ODI squad for the trip to the Australia is again Virat Kohli
the
captain.
Australia.
Sorry. Virat Kohli captain, KL Rahul vice captain, wicketkeeper, Shikhar Dhawan, Shubman Gill, Manish Pandey, Shreyas Iyer, Hardik Pandya, Mayank Agarwal, Yuzvendra Chahal, Ravi Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Navdeep Saini, and Shardul Thakur. So basically the same team, except we've got Shardul, Kuldeep, and Gill in here. And we've got no Chahar, we've got no Washington Sundar, and I can't figure out the batsman that's been left out for Shubman Gill. But yeah. Oh no, it's an extra player. It's in this squad. There's an extra player.
It's Sanju Samson.
Oh yeah, Samson. There we go. That's the change that's happened. So yeah, what do you guys think? No backup wicketkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, we can pick somebody up if need be, but it does signal that KL Rahul will probably be batting at 5 and not opening the batting. I think Shikhar Dhawan is going to either open with Mayank Agarwal or Shubman Gill.
It's Mayank.
It might, yeah. I hope it's Mayank as well. I don't think.
I hope it's Mayank.
I don't think Gill is ready for the international game.
I haven't found him to be convincing enough.
I keep hearing people speak about, oh, Shubman Gill is this next huge thing for Indian cricket. He's ready. He should be there. I mean, he's good. He's great. He's got the talent. But I mean, even looking,
he's unbelievable. No, he's unbelievable.
If we're going on IPL, his IPL this year has been quite subpar.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's wasted balls at the top. I don't think he's actually benefited KKR as much as he perhaps.
Maybe that's why they picked him in the ODI squad and not T20. He might be more effective there.
Yeah,
no, for sure. He's not playing as quickly as they would like him to, which is why he's not in the T20 squad. I like Gill in the ODI squad, but for me, it's the same thing. Like, okay, Virat and Mayank. For me, Mayank Agarwal is the obvious choice between Shubman Gill and him. Mayank's just better to me. So, Shekhar and Mayank open. If Rohit's still not well, fine.
We'll come to that topic at the end.
Then we've got KL at 4.
No, Iyer at 4, KL at 5.
Iyer at 4, KL at 5. Hardik at 6.
It's a toss-up, I think, between Hardik and Manish, depending on who they play, if Hardik is not bowling.
Yeah. See, again, I know I don't want to come back to the point, but I like the fact that we have top 5 great batsmen, but where's our firepower? Hardik Pandya? Like, he's great, but you can't just give him that responsibility by himself. Like, that's what's missing for me. Like,
And we have a real issue in this team because there's no Washington Sundar either who can bowl. So that means you have to play Jadeja at 7. Otherwise, your batting falls off a cliff after 6. Yeah. And if you're playing Jadeja at 7, you have to choose between Kulcha, which obviously Chahal will play, which means Kuldeep will not play then. Whereas he can be a real X factor.
We have 4 number 11s.
And guys, if Hardik is still not fit to bowl, that means Jadeja is bowling 10 overs.
Yeah, that means we have only 5 bowlers and Jadeja is one of them.
Yeah.
So, see, for me, like,
I think that's a big issue. We need bowlers who bat. Batsmen who bowl, sorry.
Why can't our batsmen just learn how to bowl a bit? Like, it's not that hard to learn how to bowl.
Virat stopped. They've all stopped bowling.
Yeah.
Just bowl a little bit of off spin once in a while. It's not that hard.
I think that's what people like Shubman Gill should do. Shubman, Shreyas, they should develop their one.
Shreyas can though.
Shreyas bowls like loopy leg breaks in the nets, but he needs to develop it to.
He's bowled 1 or 2 overs in a game also, I think. He
needs to be international level. Like, he can't be bowling loopy leg breaks in the middle of the game.
So guys, even Virat
that's what Ahaan bowls.
Has wickets.
I don't bowl leg breaks. I bowl medium pace, bro. I swing the ball up.
Yeah, so leg breaks just off a long run up.
Ha ha ha. Anyway, no, I think Shubman Gill is a okay pick, but I don't see him playing in this team, to be honest. I think this is probably the most the least controversial of the three teams we've picked. The only thing again being
I
Rishabh
actually
Pant,
know. I think they should
which you
have
speak
Sundar
about.
in this team. I
The
don't.
thing is, then it becomes a toss-up between Sundar and Jadeja. I actually, for one, I didn't say this in the T20 team. Actually, I forgot, but I wouldn't have had Jadeja in the T20 team. If you want that kind of bowler or that kind of player, I think both Akshar Patel and Krunal Pandya are currently offering better options if you're basing it off the IPL. Akshar's bowling has been amazing. He's been
Amazing,
way
yeah.
better than Jadeja. Jadeja's economy has been shambolic in this IPL, and Akshar
Yeah.
has been really good.
I
And
think the idea though is that Jadeja is a better batsman than Akshar.
but I
Akshar's
think
proven himself.
I think it's also
He's
I think it's
played
also
well.
because Jadeja is the incumbent spinner, right? He's already there.
Yeah.
So to remove him, he has to have done something wrong for India.
So,
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah,
it's
I think
hard.
it's interesting that Shardul Thakur has been included in the squad.
Kabir bro, you're in the
Uh,
shadow come aage. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think he's a better bowler than Deepak Chahar. In fact, I mean, I think there are a number of bowlers who are better than he is. He hasn't performed that well this IPL. Last few times, I can't remember when he played against Hong Kong, but it wasn't that long ago. Last time he played Hong Kong, he got smacked by everybody else. Didn't get smacked, obviously. I just don't think that he is good enough to be playing against Australia in Australia.
I think he's holding a spot for Bhuvi once Bhuvi's fit.
I mean, yeah, maybe he'd just be there as a net bowler, but then there's a bunch of other guys who've gone as net bowlers.
Oh, that's really exciting. Yeah, now we'll get to
Purel, Nagarkoti, Natarajan.
Can I be honest?
It's
I would
Parel,
give
Nagarkoti, Natarajan and Tyagi.
Nagarkoti, one
Yeah.
of these guys a shot before I would give Shardul Thakur a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's a very average bowler. There
But
is
I think
nothing-
they've taken them to give them the experience on this trip so that they can get them ready for the next couple of tours. Where they
I just don't think Shardul Thakur is good enough to bowl for India. Given
But I
the
don't think he's going to play. Look at the bowlers. We've got Bumrah, Shami. But the only thing is with Bumrah, Shami and Saini, we'll come to this, but they are on all three teams. So if they're going to be playing like all 4 plus 3 plus 3, 10 games, there's going to be some workload issues. So we have to either give, I mean, I think they'll probably play Deepak Chahar in the T20s ahead of Saini probably. But we need to manage their workload somewhere. Like even with this, Shardul Thakur might get a game because of that, or they might play an extra spinner later in the third ODI. But yeah, otherwise that's the ODI squad mostly. So now let's move on.
I think they'll be rotated in the T20s and the ODIs.
Yeah, for sure. I think. Anyway, so now let's move on to the test team, which is the interesting team that has been picked. So
Enormous squad.
Virat Kohli captain. I think there are like 18 players in this squad. Virat Kohli captain, Mayank Agarwal, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, Hanuma Vihari, Shubman Gill, Ridhiman Saha, Rishabh Pant, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini, Kuldeep Yadav, Ravi Jadeja, Ravi Ashwin, and Mohammad Siraj. Thoughts? I'll go first with this.
Siraj, man.
I want to see who.
Siraj is making it to the squad.
I want to see who opens. I think they're gonna go Mayank and KL.
I actually think they might join my.
No, I think Ahaan, you're right. I think they might actually go Mayank and KL. That is my gut feeling. I don't know. I don't think Shaw or Gill will open.
I think Gill is in as a middle order batsman. I think Gill is there in case Rahane doesn't play well.
Yeah.
Or Vihari. I think if Rahane or Vihari get hurt or they don't play well, that's where Gill comes in.
Yeah, I think there are 3 openers in that squad: Mayank, Prithvi, and KL.
Yeah.
Mayank.
The thing is, this is hard because like I want to see. If I had to choose, it's KL and Mayank. I have a feeling though they might give Prithvi a shot, or maybe
I hope
because Prithvi has a dude, come on, he's a Delhi boy, man. Don't say that. But he also did really well. He's before his ban and everything.
Have you seen his technique in the IPL? If he goes with that technique
I don't
against
understand.
Hazelwood, Stark, and Cummins on a first day pitch at Adelaide, he'll get smoked. He'll go straight
It's the
through
same
his
problem with
defense.
Shubman Gill, Ahaan. Same problem with Shubman Gill.
That's why I'm saying Shubman shouldn't start. It should be KL. KL has been there before. He's got a test 100 in Australia and in England.
Yeah, he does.
But KL Rahul also did struggle his first few games.
100%. But I think right now, I was hearing, I
But
think
he's in the
Harsha
best.
Bogle.
You open
Yeah.
with the person who's the best
And
batsman in the world
this
right now.
opening
Yeah,
pair has had an
Rahul Sharma.
insane run in the IPL. So I mean, it's like
Oh, you know what's hard though? Like Mayank and KL are so good, but they're like, it's like I don't. Is Mayank going to be fit? Like, hopefully he is. But
of
if
course he will.
Mayank's
I
not
think they should
fit,
rest him from the T20s and ODIs if they have to. We need him in Test more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
yeah,
But he can be replaced in ODIs and T20s.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so then obviously we've got Pujara, Kohli, Jinx to start. Are we all on the same page? Pujara, Kohli, Jinx
Yep.
start. We don't drop Jinx in
Yep.
the first Test match and see how it progresses from there.
No, we don't.
And then
Guys, I'm
We've
telling
learned
you,
from our
Jinx is going to be good in
mistakes.
the IPL. though,
who's
the
the
next
who's
few
the
games.
keeper, guys? Who's the keeper?
Pant.
Pant.
After Saha's innings yesterday, I'm thinking, bro, who are they going to bat? But I think Pant is. I think in their head, Pant is the overseas keeper because he bats better, and Saha is the Indian keeper because he keeps better. And you need the better keeper in India.
Saha also keeps better to spin than Rishabh does.
Yeah, but Pant,
No,
if
Saha
Pant
keeps
is
better to everything than
if
Rishabh
Pant
does.
if Pant
But
is
Saha's
playing
a
in the
great keeper
IPL,
to
if Pant is playing as keeper, he better up his keeping game because if
Yeah.
Smith edges a chance and he drops it, no, I swear to God, the whole of India will be after his
Yeah.
life.
At this point, Rishabh Pant is doing more goalkeeping than wicket-keeping in during cricket games.
But okay, so
But guys,
here's the
is
interesting
Rishabh
question.
Pant
So if you
now
play
a
Rishabh Pant,
new test specialist? I'm so confused.
if you're playing
Is he
Rishabh
a
Pant
new
at
Pujara?
if
What
you're
is
playing
going
Rishabh
on?
Pant at 6, then are you playing Vihari as well, or are you then playing Ashwin, Jadeja, and three pacers?
It depends, to be honest. Vihari, I like the idea of 5 bowlers, and I like the idea that to have Jadeja playing as an all-rounder. This is where I really miss Hardik Pandya. I think he would have been so useful.
As a fast bowling all-rounder abroad, yeah.
Yeah, you need a fast bowling all-rounder abroad to win.
That's why my concern comes from Hardik Pandya. I think the reason he's not in the squad is because he's not completely fit to bowl yet.
Yeah, he's not going to bowl. That's why he's not in the squad for sure. Otherwise, he would have been.
Yeah, that's the reason he's not in the squad is because he's not going to bowl, which makes me a little concerned about the balance for the other two teams. Not going to lie, especially because then you have to play Jadeja because you don't have Pant, and then the whole bowling gets a little messed up. I think Hardik Pandya, if he was on this list, the team would just look completely different. He just adds that much value. He is our version of Ben Stokes. Why would we not play Ben Stokes if we had?
No, Ben Stokes.
I think
he plays
currently
the same role as Ben Stokes.
Yeah, I think in this context, especially with Jadeja's form with the bat, I think we do play Jadeja and Ashwin both.
But we haven't done that overseas for a long time.
I know, but I think considering Jadeja's batting, you can play him sort of that.
I have a feeling in the first test we'll go with Vihari, and if we don't need the extra batsman, just to make sure we don't lose the first test because of a lack of a batsman, like in Edgbaston when we lost the first test because we.
Where's the first test? Where are we playing first test?
Adelaide, day night.
Oh, okay. Then I think then we play. Who? Yeah, we play Vihari.
Yeah, day night is very tough to bat once the sun goes down. So
yeah, that's why you play Vihari. You play with an extra batsman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think unless they're looking at Shubman to play at 6.
God no.
No, I mean, why would
play the secondary ball?
Specialist, you play him.
No, because Shubman, when he bats for India, he bats in the middle order. So.
Well, he bats at 4.
Yeah, so 4. I mean, he can't bat 4 here. You got a captain at 4. 3, 4, 5 has been the mainstay of our batting lineup for years now.
To me, Gill only plays if.
I think Gill is here as an understudy to take over from Rahane. Not
100%.
I think they're looking into the future that Pujara and Rahane don't have that much cricket left in them in terms of number of years they're going to last at the top level. So they need to start grooming people to bat at 3 and 5. They've got Gill. I still want to see who they're going to bring out at 3. Maybe Mayank in the long term. If Shaw and Rahul start opening properly, maybe Mayank can drop down to 3. Or they can look at who else is there. I don't even know. But yeah, who is your third fast bowler? Shami Bumrah, obviously. Are you going Saini, Umesh, or Siraj?
I want to hear what you guys say.
if Ashant is,
If
I mean,
Ishant
I'm
is there,
wanting
Ishant,
Ishant.
obviously. But I'm saying if we're,
If
we're
Ishant
assuming if
is
Ishant doesn't
Ishant.
make it.
Yeah. So if Ishant is fit, he might be. Like the test matches are in
Yeah, they
December.
said they think he will be fit, but let's for argument's sake, if he's not there, who's it going to be?
What do
I
you guys
love
think?
how Suraj is in this squad.
I think they'll go Yadav.
Really?
He's been good
I
in tests at home. He's been very good in tests at home.
I also think they think of Yadav as a test specialist.
But the
So
thing is, Kohli loves Saini. Like he absolutely loves Saini.
I mean, to be honest, I also absolutely love Saini. I've been watching him play, not watching or tracking him play, playing for Delhi, and he's been unbelievable over the past sort of 5-6 years. It's almost criminal that he's only just got into the test setup for India. He's really, really good, and I think he should start over Umesh Yadav. I think he offers more control, more swing both ways, and the same pace as Umesh Yadav.
I would go with Saini personally. I think they might choose Yadav based on experience if Ishant's not there. But if I had a choice, I would choose Saini. But I think Saini will get at least one test in this tournament.
I think
I
they'll
think
start.
Saini.
I think now that we finished like discussing the teams, I think there are 2-3 points we just talk about. One is, what do you think of all the RCB bowlers being on the flight in some form or the other?
Is it CSK reborn?
God, can you imagine?
All the RCB bowlers are going somewhere.
I think no, but I think they're also just the best bowlers in India right now. I'm not shocked by that.
Except Siraj, I think all of them deserve their place. I don't know about Siraj.
Siraj isn't gonna play.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not
Um,
fair because Siraj has been one of the most consistent players in domestic cricket, in domestic first class cricket, in India for a long time. I think his first class average is under
Bro, if we're
23.
going with first class cricket, there are a number of Indian batsmen who've been really good players in first class cricket and have never made it close to the Indian team.
Yeah, I know that, but that's completely different. We don't have that many fast bowlers who can bowl 140 kilometers an hour.
I don't think Siraj will start, so I don't have a problem. He's just
No, he won't
there in
start.
the
I just
squad.
think that he does deserve his place in the squad. I think people have made a lot of fun of him, but he has an average under 23 in first class cricket. He tears through Australia A, New Zealand A, South Africa A sides, and he deserves his spot. He's made his way up, and he deserves it.
Yeah,
I don't mind that he's in the squad. I don't necessarily see him getting a lot of game time, especially if Ishant is not is fine. But yeah, I think he's in the squad, and he could do in the IPL. Even Umesh Yadav has a terrible record, So like you cannot base anyone's test career based on an IPL performance.
And what do you guys think about the treatment of the situation surrounding Rohit Sharma?
Dude, if Rohit Sharma plays an IPL game, that is that was because I saw a video of him like
in the nets,
practicing.
right? Yeah.
That makes no sense. How can Rohit Sharma play for Mumbai Indians over India? So like, either there's a huge miscommunication, someone is not being honest about the extent of this truth, or Rohit Sharma is just delusional if he thinks he can play injured for Mumbai and then take time off for India. Like, I
don't know. I just don't understand the situation because they've not said he's not going. They've arrested and said that he's there as a he's on the watch list. The media team is tracking him. The medical team is tracking him to see his progress and all. So they haven't left him out. But
no, dude, you would never choose as an opener. Like, you would choose.
Yeah,
Rohit
especially
Sharma.
since he's the starting opener even in the Test series.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I think I mean, if he's injured and if he's truly dropped because of medical reasons, and if there's something not going on, like if there's anything else that we don't know about, that's one thing aside. But
Hopefully he doesn't play the
Mumbai.
IPL. As a Delhi
He
fan.
He shouldn't. If he's been dropped, he's definitely clearly hurt. He shouldn't play for Mumbai. Like I'm not even just saying this as a Delhi fan who doesn't want him to play on Saturday. I'm just saying this as why would I don't want my literally one of the best opening batsmen in the world to get injured playing IPL.
Yeah, I agree. If he's playing IPL, he should play for India. But I don't know. They haven't communicated very clearly around Rohit Sharma. It's a bit like, yeah, he's there, but no, he's not there. We're going to wait for him to see.
But to be fair, maybe like he just did, like, even in the video we did see, it was just him hitting the ball. So it wasn't like he was running or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but to stand and he has to be able to put pressure on his front and back foot.
I don't know, man. I'm just confused. I wish there were more. This is what I
And
get
this is
so
a strange
frustrated
situation because
with.
the thing is, usually when you go like this, you announce a squad. If someone is injured, then you say closer to the date, okay, he's not going, this is the replacement. But with Rohit, they've announced saying he's not fit, and then if he's fit, we'll bring him in. Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
That's
But
Yeah, it
Rohit
does make
Sharma,
sense.
if he's considered as not fit enough to even be like selected for this team, then like there's no way he should play for Mumbai. It's just that simple.
correct. I agree. I agree. If he's not fit enough to play for India, he should not play for Mumbai unless Mumbai are trying to pull a smart one here and I've told BCCI he's fit. So you announce him later, but let us use a ploy of being able to get him in and surprise the opposition when they don't expect it. So that when once he's
I
fit,
don't
then
think there's
you
that
can
much
take him.
scheming to the whole situation.
You never know. He'll come out, walks out in the final or semi-final to play.
You know what? If that is really true, that's the day I'm like, oh shit! Like Indian cricket is really corrupt.
It's run by certain higher powers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think we've discussed the three squads and the main talking points that were there around the squads.
Who
And
do
I
you think's
guess
gonna win?
we'll do that closer to the IPL in some point. I mean, closer to the series in the podcast. But I mean, I don't know. I think the test, the T20s and ODIs are quite open. I really only care about the tests. I hope we win the series in Australia, man. Like because last time we won it, there was a big asterisk. Oh, there was no Smith and Warner. So,
Dude, but if Smith is playing like this, I'm fine with Smith playing
bro,
for
but
Australia,
Smith, even Warner in tests in Australia is something else. Like
Yeah.
Warner in Australian tests, Smith, and now they've got Marnus Labuschagne also. It's a scary batting lineup they've got, man. Their 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 is quite. Who opens with Warner? Harris.
That's
Harris. No.
No, they
You
had
know who I
Harris.
honestly do really
Joe
love in
Burns,
the
maybe?
cricket time?
Huh? I'm looking forward to Punt's sledging of Pain. Punt and Pain's
Yeah.
sledging
I want
battles
to see
are
Kane and
folklore.
Hunt. That's what I was literally gonna say.
I want to
want
see them
another
going at each other.
babysitting moment.
I swear. But now the thing is, I was reading this as a meme somewhere. If Pant goes at him with temporary captain, he can come back with temporary wicketkeeper. Because he's now not even in the Indian one limited over setup. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you soon at the end of this week with the IPL league stage roundup.
See you guys.